Hello, I'm Joey Haskins, and welcome back to You've Never Seen, in which I showcase a movie you've probably never seen before. The penultimate episode of our world tour takes us to South Korea, to one of the first films by modern auteur Bong Joon-ho, Memories of Murder. Memories of Murder is based on a play by Kim Kwang-rim, which is in turn based on the real-life Hwasong serial murders. A string of killings are taking place in the Hwasong area in the late 1980s, and thus an investigation is conducted by two detectives, one from the town and one from Seoul. Their investigation leads them down several rabbit holes, which get them both so close but so far to finding the real murderer. But the pressure that each detective feels forces them both to look at their methods as police officers as they tread lightly on what is acceptable and unacceptable for them to do. With brilliant directing and cinematography and career-defining performances from both Kim Song-kyung and Song Kang-ho, Memories of Murder is highly regarded as one of the best films of the 21st century. Bong Joon-ho's style as a director involves him looking at social problems and sort of seeing the funny side of it. A lot of his films can be regarded as dark comedies, and Memories of Murder is no exception. From the get-go, the Hwasong detectives are rowdy, unorganized, and unethical in their methods, especially with Song Kang-ho's way of solving a case. There's this one scene where they think the suspect has hair on their body, so in order to figure out who it is, Kang-ho's character, Park, goes to a bathhouse and observes all the men who come in and out. That's the kind of comedic style in this film. But of the words dark comedy, the movie definitely leans into the dark. The officers torture victims and go to extreme methods to get what they want. Now, obviously, as an American person, I don't know if this kind of thing is normal for South Korea, but considering the passive stance of Song Kyung's character, I'm gonna guess it isn't. His character comes in much more refined than the other detectives, easily being able to tell when someone is innocent or guilty. He always seems to be the one to get the other detectives out of their sticky situations, but as he stays longer and becomes more embroiled in this case, he starts to see how it may be impossible to solve. Not just how they can't find any breadcrumbs hidden by the killer, but also at the incompetence of the local police. Their barbaric methods bring them up with nothing, and every time they're at a dead end, they just barely manage to get out with a new lead. A lead that is mostly provided by the only female we see in the office. Guess that says a lot about the rest of the officers there. Another common theme of Bong Joon-ho's films is the emphasis on darkness. Memories of Murder is a film to be watched at night. Otherwise, you will completely miss something if you have even the lights dimmed. But I'm not just talking about the darkness that you see, but the darkness inside the characters. The paranoia that all the characters face in this film brings them to do some questionable things. And the level of abuse the police commits escalates to a point where even the most basic viewer will cringe at what they do. But it is no greater than at the end, where it seems like all hope is lost and there's nothing left to do, and there is nothing they can do. They more or less brought this on themselves, because they were too preoccupied with different suspects and focusing on unnecessary details. All the people dying in the film is just as much the fault of the cops as it is the murderer, once again tying into the general themes Bong Joon-ho focuses on in his films. And by the end of the film, even Song Kyung's once confident soul detective has his soul crushed by the overwhelming truth as he stares into the abyss of darkness, only able to look back at himself and think about what he has become. The actual murders that the film is based on were never solved until 2019, when new technology was able to identify the man responsible, who was already serving a life sentence at that point for a different crime. But the renewed investigation eventually led to him confessing. As for the film itself, it almost instantly became a cult classic. It has been regarded as one of Bong Joon-ho's best films, one of the best Korean films of all time, one of the best crime films of all time, and as I stated before, one of the best films of the 21st century. It certainly gave Bong Joon-ho the street credit he deserved and propelled him into becoming an acclaimed director and a filmmaker who won 3 Oscars in one night for his 2019 film, Parasite, which puts him in the same conversation as the Coen brothers, James L. Brooks, Billy Wilder, and Alejandro G. Inarritu. Memories of Murder is currently available to stream on Tubi, or you can check it out at your local library. Wow, these last couple of episodes have been really depressing, huh? Let's have some fun in France. With Weston Media Center, I'm Joey Haskins, and I'll see you all next time.